Hello, and welcome to Allie in Sweatpants. My name is Allie, and I'm wearing sweat shorts because it's still pretty dang warm where I am here in Southern California. My mind is going a little bit blank because I just recorded this whole thing and my phone's storage filled up and it didn't save my video. So we're back and we're trying it again. If you've been here before, hello. Thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me. I love getting to interact with you all. And if you're new, welcome. I hope that you enjoy. So, yeah, really, mind blank. I'm not wearing any knitwear today because, like I said, pretty warm, but I do have an honorable mention, and that is my AOSTA sweater. So I knit this past winter, or maybe it was spring actually, and I think I used 1 millimeter smaller than the recommended needle size in the pattern because I liked the fabric better that I was getting that way. This is knit in the Knit Picks Shine Worsted in the current colorway, which is a beautiful burgundy. It's very, very soft. It has grown a bit, but I also haven't washed it and dried it in a little bit, so I'm curious to see if that will kind of pop it back to where it was. I love the AOSTA patterns. I've knit the AOSTA sweater twice now, and I've knit the cardigan twice now. So it's a top-down raglan with this beautiful, let me see here, beautiful knit purl, textured repeat, folded neckband. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Probably gonna knit one for my boyfriend eventually, but this is an honorable mention because I have been wearing it every night this summer to walk my dog, or in June and July we had some cooler days even, so I was wearing that in the house, but it's been getting a ton of use this summer. If you hear like ticky-tacky on the floor, it's because my grandma's dog paces pretty much constantly when she's not sleeping. And I should say I have a different background because I am still at my parents' house, so hence, you know, my grandma's dog. But so if you hear that, you know, I'm sorry. And like I said, it's warm, so the air conditioner might come on, and we work with what we got. So let's move swiftly on into finished objects, shall we? The first finished object are these socks. These are socks that I made for myself using veganyarn.com's sock base, which is it was a cotton bamboo elastic blend, and they just got a new base, which is organic cotton, tencel, and elastic. So it's a little bit more eco-friendly, which is very, very exciting to me. So this is their sock base. This was a test colorway that they had on their website called Taupe Speckle, I believe. And it really is just so beautiful. The speckles are just so, so beautiful. It's a German short row heel, top down. I knit it on 2.5 millimeter needles using 56 stitches, which is the stitch count that I will typically use if I'm using 2.5 millimeter needles for myself. For, say, my boyfriend or my mom, I'll use 60 stitches on 2.5 millimeter needles, and that works really great for them. So, first finished object, socks. Second finished object is another pair of socks that I did show last episode, but they were in the gift knitting section. So now they've been gifted and they can be they can be on the regular segment. So they look funny because they've been worn and washed, and I didn't put them on a sock blocker, and it is what it is. So these I was knitting for my boyfriend for his birthday. They're showing up a little bit more blue on camera than in real life, but I knit them in LaRue Cotton's sock base. It was a one-of-a-kind colorway that I got during their lemonade stand event. So it was like a oopsie one-of-a-kind colorway, and it came as a sock set. So it came with the contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs colorway. I did 5x1 ribbing, which I love the look of. I had never done it before for my boyfriend, and I think I like it more than my 3x1? I think that was my go-to, was 3x1, and I like 5x1 way better. I did the heel from the Morse Hell sock pattern by Inga from Knitting Traditions because that's his favorite heel, and 60 stitches, 2.5mm needles. I love them and he loves them, so 'tis a win. My next finished objects I don't have with me, and I actually finished them before the last episode, but I completely forgot about them because I'd gifted them away to their recipients already, so I didn't have them. But they were 2 pairs of socks. So like I mentioned in the last video, my boyfriend and I bought a house about maybe a month ago now or so. Oop, oop. Sorry, my dog stretched and pushed his blanket onto the tripod. And so I made socks for our real estate agent because she was so lovely and so wonderful, and she really worked with us and listened to us and kind of, you know, kept our parameters in mind. So I made her some socks using Bamboo Pop Sock Solids in the tan colorway and the white, I think it's called foam colorway. And did I rib them? Did I put ribbing in them? I think I might have put ribbing in them. I can't really remember, but for those I did 60 stitches on 2.5mm needles again. And then the other pair of socks that I gifted were for the lady that we would have come in and stay with my grandma at night. My whole family got COVID a couple months ago, and we just needed more help during the day taking care of my grandma at that time. You know, we were all just going through it. And she was so wonderful and made this huge sacrifice for us, truthfully, where she was willing to come over during that time. She would put on her mask, we would put on our masks. If it wasn't necessary for us to be in there with her and my grandma helping, then we wouldn't be. We would, you know, stay back, and she would try to be in here as little as possible, you know, in, out. And we were just so incredibly grateful for that, because I mean, it's a big deal. Like, somebody doing that for us, we took it very seriously because it's a big deal, you know, it's nothing to snicker at. And so I wanted to think of something that I could do for her, and so I knit her a pair of socks. And again, I used the Bamboo Pop Sock yarn, but I used a self-striping, blue and green self-striping colorway, which might be called Marigold. And then I used a blue for the cuff, heel, and toe. And both people that I gave their socks to just absolutely loved them. Their reactions were just, I mean, that's what makes gift knitting so exciting for me, is when you get that super happy, excited reaction. You can never anticipate how someone's gonna react to a gift knit. I mean, seriously, sometimes I've been like, they're gonna love this, and then they like couldn't care less about it. Or I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'm not sure like what they think, and then you know, they have the best reaction ever. So when I do get that just like super happy, grateful, excited reaction, it makes all the difference for me. So yeah, they both really liked it, and I'm so glad that I made it for both of them for, you know, the given reasons that I did. And so I have another sock finished object that I don't have here to share because he's wearing them right now, but I did finish the shorty socks for my boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure they're slightly cursed, but maybe not anymore because I finished them. But so the first one I knit twice, ripped out twice, and then had to rip out again because I kept doing something wrong. And the last time, the only thing I did wrong was that the foot wasn't long enough. So at least it was a quicker fix. But then I was knitting the second one, and I was doing the Morse Hell sock pattern by Inga from Knitting Traditions, and I forgot to do the heel increases on the second one. So I just kept going. I was not gonna mess with it. I was done ripping these socks out. I wanted them done, I wanted them out. So the socks are very different widths, but he wore them yesterday walking the dogs and they didn't slip. And then today he's wearing them at work, which is gonna be the true test. It's gonna be like a 12-hour walking around, serious test. So the verdict is out until tonight when he comes home and lets me know whether they slipped or not. And if they didn't, then I'm gonna make him another pair because he's going out of town on work for 8 weeks. I think next week? No, week after next. And where he's going, it's gonna be very hot and very humid. So I would love to get him at least one more pair of shorties that he can take with him. But we'll see. I think I might cast them on this afternoon. And for those, I used the Regia cotton sock yarn in the Tutti Frutti range in the lemon lime colorway. I did 56 stitches for the ribbing, and then I did 60 stitches for the rest of the sock. I did 2.5 millimeter needles and a 3x1 ribbing. Yes. Okay, next finished object is technically a gift. Should I show it now or in the gift knitting section? I can't imagine he would ever watch these videos. Yeah, he won't watch. Okay, it is another BB balaclava. This one is for my sister's boyfriend for the holidays. Like I said in my last video, the last couple times I saw them, they expressed that they were getting kind of into skiing. And now that fall and winter are rolling around again, I thought it might be a really useful gift for this season. So yeah, it's in Stash yarn. It's 100% acrylic, Karen Simply Soft, and I don't know the colorways, but I actually didn't have enough blue to do the whole balaclava. So this was like a solid gray scrap, and then we had gray tweed scraps. And the BB balaclava pattern comes in moss stitch instructions, but I decided to do garter just for something a little bit different. And I really like it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It comes in 2 sizes. I knit the bigger of the 2 sizes just because I just wasn't sure. And yeah, I think it's really nice. It has this double knit face band, which I think just makes it look really cozy and professional. And so yeah, I hope that this is a useful gift to him, and if it's not, maybe he has a friend who will like it and find it useful. Who knows? As long as it's useful to someone, that's the goal. So that's my other finished object, and I have one half finished object. So I was talking to my dear friend Martina the other day from the We Grow Wild knitting podcast, which I'm sure you all know very well. But she was saying that she really wanted to knit some socks with mushrooms. And I said, have you seen the stone knits pattern called Magic Toadstools? Because I've owned it for a long time and I've wanted to knit it for a long time and I just never have. And so she checked it out and then she sent someone's like sample knit and it was so beautiful. We both got so excited about it. She was like, let's cast them on together. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. And then she was like, oh, I kind of have a lot of whips though. And I was like, yeah, I kind of do too. And then the next day I saw that she had cast hers on. So I got super excited and cast mine on. And I finished the first one. So here they are. The mushrooms in the pattern have little white spots on the hat of the mushroom, but I didn't want to mess with 3-stranded color work. So I'm going to either duplicate stitch or I saw someone on Instagram who embroidered little French knots on the mushrooms, which I don't know how to do, but I think would look really, really cute. So I followed the pattern exactly. The only thing is this little repeat down here was also supposed to be before the toe, and to be completely honest, I just forgot to do it. By the time I got to the toe, I was like in stockinette bliss, and I just forgot to do it. But this was my first time doing a traditional like heel flap and gusset, and I can't say I particularly enjoyed the process of knitting it, but I love how it fits. So this is all knit in Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop Sock Solids. This is maybe rosemary. This is pewter. The red is maybe pomegranate. And I think the white is foam. I think those are the colorways, but I just thought that they looked so woodsy and like hiking socks, and yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited about them. I have cast on my second one, but I think I have like 3 rounds of the ribbing done, so. And for these, I used 2.25 millimeter needles. Yes. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to have these. I think they're gonna look so very, very cute. Okay, we are done with the works in progress, I'm pretty sure. So now we're gonna move on to, what did I just say? Did I say we're done with the works in progress? We're done with the finished objects, and now we're going on to the works in progress. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is a dear old friend of mine. We've seen this friend many times. We have a love-hate relationship with this friend. We thought it was gonna be something that it's turning out it's not going to be, but we're enjoying what it's gonna be now. And that is my very heavily modified Road Tripper tee by OZETTA. So, I'm using, ouch, okay, I'm sitting on something very, oh, I'm sitting on the ball of yarn. I'm using thicker yarn than recommended in the pattern. I'm using thicker needles than recommended in the pattern. I'm using 3.5 for the ribbing and 4.5 for the rest of the body. I'm making it long sleeves, and in the pattern it's a tee. And I think that's the only modifications I made, as if that's not enough. So it's a top-down single raglan design. You knit the neckband and the button band while you're working the body, which I loved. I hate picking up stitches to do button bands. I never do it well. There's always too many or too little, or they're uneven and it never sits right. So I loved this method. And then I did some decreases for the sleeve, and then I did an itty bitty little cuff. And I think it looks really nice. I tried it on, it still looks very cute. My plan for this friend of mine was to do folded hems for the cuffs and the body. And I did it for the body and it kept flipping up. And it was driving me crazy. It was driving me so crazy, I didn't even want to look at this pattern. And so I decided to rip it out, and I'm just doing normal ribbing, just a little bit of normal ribbing. Same with the cuffs, just a little bit of normal ribbing. I've gotten to the point where this looks great to me and I don't care. So I'm knitting it in Drops Boomol Lin, which is basically like a 50-50 cotton linen blend in the colorway 05. I got these beautiful handmade wooden buttons off of Etsy. I think they're gorgeous, and it's gonna be such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful piece, and I'm very excited to have it. It was taking up so much brain space, like so much brain space. I talked to my mom yesterday and I was like, I'm so tired of being stressed out by my works in progress. So this morning I woke up and I was like, Allie, this week we're working on the Road Tripper tee and we're working on the Cumulus tee, and that's the end of it. We are working on them. So I am. I finished the cuff this morning and I'm gonna finish the body ribbing today, and then I think I'm gonna start my boyfriend's shorty socks, but yay me. So very, very excited to be working on it, for it to be taking less brain space, and to get to wear it kind of soon. I mean, in the perfect time, really. So my next work in progress is gonna be a little bit difficult to show. I don't want to lose stitches again, because last time I recorded this, I lost a bunch of stitches. Okay, and I want the hair off of it. I lose so much hair. Can you tell what it is? I'll be so impressed if you can. Let's see, can I do better for you? Anything for you? Can we tell what it is? It's a ranunculus. So yes, is Allie making her first ever ranunculus? Why, yes I am. Yes, yes, yes I am. So I am making it in Terrapin Fiberworks, 75% cotton, 25% linen, fingering base, which is 340 yards per 100 grams, which is thicker than a typical fingering, I think, in the color Bonfire Night. So let me see if I can get you a good, that's pretty good, pretty good. So it's all these different shades of burnt orange, basically, and it is beyond stunning. It kind of reads to me as like a DK weight almost. Can you see anything I'm trying to show you? So I thought, I really want to use it to make a ranunculus. I have 2 balls of it, but I didn't know if I could hold it double to go away. Thank you. I didn't know if I could hold it double and have enough to make the whole shirt. And the ranunculus now comes in a bunch of sizes, but you can use any weight of yarn practically, but the pattern only tells you to use 6mm needles. So if you use a big shake, oh, why don't you lay down, Bubby? Go ahead. Good boy. Good boy. Love you. It only tells you to use 6mm needles. So if you use a thinner yarn, you're gonna have a very open, very airy fabric, which I didn't really want. I wanted more of a t-shirt. So I'm kind of chancing it. I'm using 4mm needles. The only thing I did differently was I cast on, I think, 30 more stitches than recommended. And then I did the first round of increases, and then there was a section where you decrease. And so instead of following the decrease amount in the pattern, I decreased to the number it was supposed to be, if that makes sense. So I'm back on the right stitch count number now, but I am worried because when I look at everyone else's ranunculuses, the texture goes like further. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, and I don't want to pull it because I don't want stitches to pop off, but we'll see. I decided that I'm gonna go to where the arms split, and then I'm gonna try it on, and if I don't like it, I'm going to hold the yarn double and use probably not even the recommended needle size, probably still smaller, but closer to the recommended needle size. And if I run out of yarn, I'll either use a different yarn or I'll do something. So yeah, making me a ranunculus. Finally, I picture this in the fall with like a black long sleeve tee underneath. Very excited, cannot wait. Okay, so now we're moving into gift knitting. Friends, family, loved ones, people I exchange gifts on the regular basis. Timestamp here. Go ahead and go here. Don't spoil it for yourselves. Don't spoil it for others. I love you very, very much. I appreciate you doing this for me, and you can come back and watch these segments after the holidays. Thank you, goodbye. Okay. So the first thing I want to show for gift knitting is for my boyfriend's mom for Christmas. She is loving blue right now. She's a big sewer. She's a big quilter. So sorry. And she painted her sewing room this beautiful blue. And I saw this yarn by King Cole. It's called Cotton Sock. And it's like mostly cotton, some polyamide, and some PBT, I think. But it's like the perfect blue for her. So it's showing up a little bit more like primary blue, and it's a little bit more aqua, like there's a little bit more green in it than is showing up on camera right now. But I made her these socks for Christmas, and I think they're gonna be a hit. Top down, 2.5 millimeter needles, 60 stitches, German short row heel. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed working with this yarn. I really enjoyed working on these socks. I think I did each sock in a day and a half. Like I was just on it with these socks. And so yeah, these will be for my boyfriend's mom for Christmas, and I'm very excited to give these to her. I think that she will really like them and really appreciate them. And she's also a maker, so she knows the time and the thought and the effort that not only goes into making the gifts, but goes into picking the material and picking the pattern, and you know, like she understands. So I'm very excited to give those to her. Now my last work in progress and my last project to show is for my boyfriend for Christmas. And it is the HANSTHOLM sweater by PETITEKNIT. And I basically just split for the sleeves. So it's in this, it kind of reads this color in person, but if you see it in the light, it's like a forest pine green almost. So I'm knitting it out of Lion Brand Touch of Linen yarn in, I meant to bring a ball with me, but I didn't. I'll put the colorway on the screen. It's again about like a 50-50 cotton and linen blend yarn. I'm using a lot of cotton and linen blend right now for my ranunculus, my road tripper tee, for this. Loving it. I knit this like last month for my uncle, and I really liked the pattern, and so I'm making it for my boyfriend. It's top down, single raglan, some German short rows, folded neckband, just a very classic pattern, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm making the 3rd size, I think, and I had my boyfriend try on the sweater that I made for my uncle, and it fit him really nicely. So I have the measurements from that. I'm going to use them for this, and it should work out beautifully. So yeah, that's that. I don't really have any acquisitions to show today. I thought that though I would maybe talk about some knitting plans. A lot of people are coming out with fall knitting plan videos, which I am loving. Such great inspiration. And so I don't really have like fall knitting plans, but I kind of do, because I have like a gift knitting list that I want to make, and I also just have personal goals and knitting things I want to do. And I also have some video ideas that I really want to do. So I'll start with gift knitting things that I want to do, since I already shooed away my family. So the next gift knits that I think I want to focus on are some Oslo hats. I'm going to make one for my dad for Christmas in black bamboo pop sock yarn that I'm going to hold double. And then I want to make one for my boyfriend and one for his brother out of Hobbies like baby organic cotton in a gray color. I've already made one for my boyfriend, and I held the strands double like it says to in the pattern, and it made a very, very thick, dense hat that he loves. But this one I'm gonna hold single, so he kind of has like a thinner Oslo hat and then a really thick Oslo hat. So I think those are the next 3 things that I want to focus on. And then, let's see, mind is going blank. I really would like to start my November jacket by PETITEKNIT. It's a pattern, it's one of the first patterns I ever bought, and it's all over brioche, and brioche was one of my knitting goals for the year that I haven't done yet, but so I might cast that on after I get like all this stuff done as my next big project. I don't know. I might. I totally forgot about a whip. We're all over the place here. Last work in progress. Sorry guys, I hope you don't mind. Is my grow shawl. I started it as part of the Shall We Shawl knit along with Martina, and I'm loving it. I've made a lot of progress. I have, you know, that much more to go as I go up in a triangle. Yeah, I'm holding 2 strands of Lion Brand Kobu yarn together, which is like a cotton bamboo blend in, I think, the taupe colorway, maybe the mauve colorway, maybe. And yeah, I'm really loving it. I haven't worked on it a ton in the past week or so. I kind of go through spurts of like only working on this or not working on it for a week, so that's why I kind of forgot about it. But I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really excited to have it for when it gets a little bit chillier. So now we're actually done with whips and stuff. Sorry about that. And then I kind of talked about some video ideas that I'd really like to do, and I would love to know your thoughts if you're interested in seeing these, but I'm feeling really motivated to make them, so I'm probably gonna make them. I think this week I want to film another video, all kind of like a sit and knit with me, all about my thoughts on gift knitting. I have a lot of thoughts on gift knitting. I've been having a lot of new thoughts regarding gift knitting as I start for this holiday season, and so I've written down kind of the major points that I think I want to touch on and kind of talk to you guys about and hear your opinions on. So I want that to be one of my next videos. And then I want to do a vintage knitting series. I'll talk about it more when I start the series, but sadly a few weeks ago my grandmother passed away, and she lived here with my family and I for 5.5 years. You know, we took care of her in home. So it's been a really big adjustment, you know, not having her around, and I kind of just wanted to do something to feel connected to her still, or connected to her again, I'm not really sure. So I had this idea, how cool would it be to find knitting patterns from the 1940s, which is when she would have been my age, what I am now. And so I found 3 patterns. I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna do all 3, but for sure I'm gonna do 2. And I wanted to make them like process videos, so where I kind of document start to finish of the project and then my final thoughts on them. And each pattern will have its own video, and all the patterns are free. So, you know, whoever's interested would either be able to knit them with me or look at the patterns if I get stuck, or, you know, whatever. And then for the finale episode, I have a very, very special kind of family heirloom sweater that my grandmother's mother knit that I want to try to recreate. So I'm very excited for this vintage knitting series. I thought if I enjoy it and people enjoy it, I might even go like crazy and do a vintage knitting series parents edition, where I knit a couple patterns from the time where my parents were my age, and then maybe even a pattern from the 90s, which is when I was born. So I don't know, I just feel very inspired by the idea of this series, and I would really like to start it. So yeah, that's kind of it. Just feeling a little bit chatty, but I don't really have anything else to chat about. So yeah, I'll just keep knitting, plan for the day, gonna finish the ribbing on my Road Tripper tee, and then start, I'll either start some more shorties or work on my Magic Toadstool socks, but I'll probably start some shorties. So that's my plans for today. I hope you're all doing well, and if you're feeling a little bit rough, I hope you feel better. I hope that this was 30, almost 38 minutes of distraction or entertainment. I don't know. Hope you found some inspiration or some humor, or just got to sit and knit or craft or relax with me for just a little bit. And yeah, I guess I'll be back when I have more to talk about. Bye.